Tennessee Titans fans, we meet again. This time it is Ian Rapoport talking about Will Levis and his starting status with the Titans on the Rich Eisen show. Ian Rapoport is as knowledgeable as they come. So let's hear what he's got to say.
Tennessee also, another one. I mean, again, like I said, there's a long list of these quarterback situations. Seems like there's not an actual quarterback change there. It's still Will Levis, despite the one or two baffling mistakes that he has made.
Three or four. No, one or two's being generous. Three or four.
Every week throughout the course of this season. But he is banged up. He's not going to practice today, according to Brian Callahan. What direction does that thing go in Tennessee?
Sounds like it's going in the Will Levis direction. He's going to practice, I believe, Wednesday. And then
one thing I do want to say about the guy asking this question before Ian really gets going answering, quarterback play, I'm not trying to deflect attention away from Will Levis at all, but quarterback play has been down this year. You have certain guys, yes, but I mean even Patrick Mahomes right now is looking very human for him. And there are other guys, especially young guys. I mean, we've already seen Bryce Young get benched. Even some of these proven guys like Aaron Rodgers struggling significantly. Quarterback play, defenses are a lot better now. Defenses have figured it out. And
expectation is he'll be healthy enough to go. Will Levis is, I would say, a problem that is, they're not good problems, but this seems like a good problem to have because, there are plenty of plays where you're like, this guy is the starting quarterback of the Titans and is looking good and makes plays and all that. It's really just that one play a game, like falling down, throws it behind him, pick six, like those plays. Brian Callahan was hired for a lot of reasons. And I think the sort of culture that he can bring a team was one, and communication and openness and forward thinking. There's a lot of reasons he was hired. But to me, the thing that will help the organization most is that he should be able to get Will Levis to stop doing that.
Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out if he can. I mean, but Ian's right. There is some good in there. There is some good. There are some good things that he does. It's just these mistakes are so bad that, they're the kind of mistakes that change the game. They're the kind of mistakes, obviously against the Bears, the shovel pass out there for the pick six. That was, that along with the blocked punt in that game, it changed the game. The Jets game, Titans had all the momentum before he tries to do that crap with Spears. And then the pick six against Green Bay, the interception against Miami, even in his limited time playing against Miami, he threw a pick six. So, yeah, there are some good things to take away. There are some moments that look good, but he's got to eliminate these mistakes. And that, it's going to be a test for him, and it is going to be a test for Brian Callahan as well. Like, what are you going to do to get this guy to stop? What are you going to do to eliminate these critical mistakes that are hurting the team?
And if that can happen, then they probably have themselves something. I don't know what Will Levis' ceiling is going to be, but he's played well enough to where you're like, this guy can win football games. So, he also needs to play, needs to put himself in.
It's higher praise than I was expecting. Because I feel like everywhere you look, it's just like everybody's just making fun of Will Levis and talking about how horrible he is. But this is a lot more praise than I was
situations
expecting.
Constantly to just be regular and effective and just let that continue to happen. And I think, to me, does sound like this week probably goes out there and does that.
He's not a real regular guy. That's the thing. He is, go back to everything through the pre-draft process. Obviously, different people. There's, the Mayo stuff and the eating bananas with the peel and all that. He came across to so many people.
The Mayo stuff being fake is definitely one of the most misunderstood. Everyone knows that's fake, right?
I don't think so.
Real.
It is, and he's got a sponsorship with Hellman's and everything. But a lot of the stuff he was doing for TikTok and stuff, it was fake. It was fake.
He has leaned into all of this.
But he has leaned into it.
In terms of he doesn't like mayo in his coffee, I'm shocked. I'm very shocked that this is a branding thing.
That is fake. I think it would. No, well, yes, a lot of that going around, but the fact that some people think is real is, I think, a problem in our society.
But the
But
way
anyway,
that he comes across though is he is very tightly wound and he's super energetic. And I think that for some people they just thought that was maybe over the.
See, I feel like that's the element of his personality that's been missing this season. I think last year we saw that pumped up, passionate guy. So far this season, there are times where he just looks lost. He looks confused. And that fire that we saw on Monday night in Miami last year, like that fire we saw has now been replaced with confusion.
The edge for what they wanted out of the quarterback position. The upside on Will Levis, in my mind, and granted, this is an oversimplification because he's playing right now, but it's Sam Darnold. Where Sam Darnold, you always saw the traits, you saw the athletic ability, you saw the arm. It was he would make absolutely catastrophic mistakes on a weekly basis that took your team out of games. And he's made a few mistakes here and there through the course of this season here, but it took, what was this, year 7 for Sam Darnold? It took him a ways down the line.
7? There ain't no way. There ain't no way Sam Darnold has been in the NFL for 7 years. I'm looking that up right now. I don't believe that for a second. Let's see here. When was Sam Darnold drafted? 2018. So 6 years. Whew. Gosh, where does the time go? Sam Darnold's been in the NFL for 6 years? He's a veteran.
To figure out how to play within the scope of the offense. That's what it seems like with Will Levis.
And I understand it takes time. You got to give these people time. But I'm not going to sit here and waste 6 years waiting on Will Levis to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get you need to give time. You need to have patience. But we can't sit here for 6 years. Okay.
We all see the baffling mistakes, but there's a lot of good in there too. You've just got to somehow get through all the stuff that, hey, when you're being tackled by two guys, don't try to throw a left-handed shovel pass in the red zone on 1st and goal. We don't need you to do that. Just don't do it.
well, or like if you're trying to get a first down in the first quarter, maybe it doesn't make sense to go like Superman and launch yourself.
He probably had that first down, though. He probably, even Brian Callahan said, if he had a second angle, he might have challenged that. He probably had it.
Probably had his first down, but may or may not have detached his arm from his body, which is, you got to, and that's part of playing the quarterback position. And I look at where Brian Callahan came from. Like, obviously the Bengals lost, right? But Joe Burrow is as chill and cool as a football player could literally ever be. He's like this, straight line all the time. And, he'll make mistakes. I mean, I had one late yesterday, but seems never to be flustered. And I don't know that that's reality for a lot of people. I mean, all of us try to be very cool under pressure, and some handle it, better than others. But to me, like, that's the goal. And, for Darnold, you're right. It took him 7 years. It took him 7 years to get there, to be just like regular down in and down out without doing like a crazy thing. Might take Will Levis some time too, but that's where you want to get to when like you're being tackled by two guys, there's no hope, and you go, all right, I'm just going to go down with the ship and we'll live to play another down.
It reminds me of when Belichick was talking about Brady, and that's how he was. All right, I'll take a sack. If that's the best thing that I could do right here, I'll take a sack. If throwing it away is the best thing I could do right now, I'm going to throw it away. If dumping it off for 3 yards is the best thing I can do, I'll do that. Don't do anything crazy to hurt the team. Don't throw an interception. Don't throw a pick six. Don't do something that's going to give points pretty much to the other team.
I felt like that was a shot at me right there, Ian. Was that just look on your face, the way that you said some people handle pressure better than others? Was that directed at me, or am I reading too much into it?
No, I think you're reading too much into it. No, it wasn't. It wasn't actually. No, I was actually referring to myself, because like there are times when I very pride myself on being like cool and calm, and sometimes I'm just not. Like
I mean, I just think that's something that comes with time. When you think about Will Levis or any other quarterback, I mean, think about it in any walk of life. The more comfortable you get with something, the more knowledgeable you get, the more experience you have, the calmer you are, the more you see things from a different perspective. You know, like I said, guys like C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels, they come into the league and they just look like they're ready to set the league on fire. They're so mature and know just what to do. But those guys are the exception and not the rule. Vast majority of times, it's going to take a little bit. And so, I thought Ian probably gave Will Levis a little bit more praise than I would have been expecting. Because, yes, there have been good things, but the mistakes Will Levis has made, you could argue, I mean, is losing the team games. It's the difference between winning and losing. And so we'll see if Will Levis can come back from this bye with a renewed, ready to go attitude, or if, same old, same old. We'll see.